Hey everyone, this is MK from I Am Energy. Uh, Even though I've said this maybe in one or two of my videos in the past that I might be doing these kinds of videos while I'm driving, I haven't done that in a while. It's just I felt like I need to put this video out. Now you won't be seeing me talking right to the camera that much, obviously, because I want to focus more on driving. But like I said, I still felt like I needed to let you guys know about some of my own personal experiences about this topic and some of the things that have been happening lately as well. So the topic for this episode or this video is the event that a lot of people have been talking about, having to do with solar flashes. Some say that is apparently a lot of people saying that it basically is what in religious terms people might call it the Judgment Day. In other cultures it might be the end of the cycle and whatnot. There was apparently, like all of us thought was a day already passed, that it was supposed to be the day. Some say it was the day when we actually had a shift, and some say it wasn't, and which is basically the year 2012 when everything was supposed to end. So but to our surprise, to a lot of people's surprise, it wasn't as it was supposed to be. I mean, there have been cataclysmic events happening all around the world, but that wasn't basically it, so to speak. I actually had a personal experience at that time also. I remember sometime in December, I believe. I think it was on the day in December when it was supposed to have happened, or late night, either that same night or the morning of the following night. I just remember it was somewhere around 3 a.m. or 3:30 a.m., somewhere around that time. So it was a weird experience. I felt like I was about to doze off, and then I felt a jerk in my body as if someone shook me, and then I came back. It was a very weird experience at that time. This is long before although we are all going through the awakening process since our childhood, as far as I believe, but this was way before I started having more, how should I put this, experiences that were more visible, or in other terms, I was self-aware of them more frequently than ever before. So which was basically, as I have spoken in my previous videos, it was just a few years ago, maybe about 2-3 years back, or even less. So to me, the event, like again, a lot of people have been talking about, the event has been happening, or has already started happening. I look at it in a different way. I don't look at it as the day, because keep in mind, even after the quote-unquote the day when a lot of people are saying the solar flash is supposed to happen, even after that, life will still go on this earth, like a lot of people say, on the new earth or whatnot, whether you're being transferred to a ship and taken elsewhere, or you're moving to a new earth, or you're still staying in the same earth. life as we know it, like they say now, since they figured a lot of people have come to realize everything's just not going to end. But life as we know it may end, but life will still go on, whether it's in one form or another. Just like, I keep on talking about energies. Energies can, as it says, neither be created nor destroyed. It's just transformed from one form to another. And energy is also the minute form, at least known to the masses. It is the minute form of everything. So if you look at that formation, we're basically all related and connected to each other in one way or another. So in a way, we are all related and are all relatives. Whether you're talking about the animals, the plants, the people, we may look different. We may be formed of a different type of body with different types of liquids in our body, whether it's in the main flow of liquid, which is either water or blood. We're still related. We are just in different forms of energies. So some of the experiences that I have been having recently, I wanted to also discuss about that. One of them I already have told you guys, from the 90s, which was one of the oldest Mandela effects that I ever had in my life, was seeing color pictures in a black and white TV. I just received a comment on my previous video on one of the oldest Mandela effects of the 90s, where I talked about this Mandela effect that I had, and someone commented about Hanna-Barbera, which is basically sort of the production company that had to do with the Flintstones and some other very popular animated videos and movies and whatnot. So I commented over there as well. I just had lost words of what I was about to say, but hopefully it's gonna come back. But check the comment that I posted over there and see what I said. I believe, like I said, since the event has been going on for quite some time now, these different time shifts, or Mandela effect, if you want to call that, the reason I don't call it Mandela effect, because for me, these things have started happening a long time ago. Just like I said about the incident with the television color changing colors from black and white to color. So things like that happening for me a long time before, even before people were talking about, or popularly or more commonly talking about, Mandela effects. So I'm just gonna call them time shifts and consider them as parallel dimensions of one form or another. So some of the recent things that have been happening to me, at least for the last few days, I'm not sure what has been going on. I've been feeling, one of the things that's very common for me that I've been feeling is feeling very tired. I feel like sleeping more than before, and I'm gonna try to balance out with comments that others may say. The fact that I might have been sleeping less. Yes, I have. Even though I have gotten used to sleeping no more than 3 to 4 hours, or maybe about 5 hours, the most about 6 hours sometimes, very rarely, but usually between 4 to 5 hours, if not 3 hours. Some may call because of that, the experience is delusional, some of the experiences. But like I told you guys, I'm coming up with an episode. I have pictures that I've taken where I've seen things in the sky, yes, that having to do with maybe UFOs, maybe not, and also changing colors in the sky. I've been able to capture some of them, although others, when I try to capture them, it looks different when it's with my naked eyes. But when you look at it through the digital cameras on your phone and whatsoever, it looks totally different. They don't seem to be visualized in the same way. So yes, I mean, I do agree. There's always possibilities of everything. A lot of people, like I said, might say it might have to do with me not sleeping too much, that I've been getting tired, although the tiredness is not always there, or in the past it hasn't been always there every single day. But recently it's been more frequent, at least for the last few days. Today was a different thing. I was almost awake throughout the whole night, and there's an incident that happened with last night that I'm going to discuss in a few minutes. But today, for example, I went to sleep around 4 or 5 o'clock because it was Saturday. But I stayed in sleep probably till about 1 o'clock, so I still had a decent amount of sleep. In fact, one of the longest amount of sleep that I've ever got in recent times. So from 5 to 1 o'clock, so that's actually about 8 hours of sleep. And I'm feeling great. I'm still feeling slightly tired. Maybe it have to do with the weather. It's pretty cloudy. And a little chilly as well. So that's one of the things I've experienced. But other things that I have experienced in the very recent few days, maybe like for the last 3 days or 3-4 days, is having this tingling sensation on the right side of my head, where the right hemisphere is. I believe that's where the creative side of our brain is. I'm gonna get to the point where a lot of people might say, well, the awakening process does have to do with the creative part, but it also have to do with the neurons or let's just put it in very simple terms, veins of the brain, or similar veins that are found in the heart. I really apologize for not using more intelligent words, so to speak. So I'll get to that part as well. So that was one tingling sensation. I sometimes had some tingling sensation on my left side in these last few days, but most of the time, in fact, through yesterday, I've been having this. Sometimes it feels like painful, so to speak, but more like a tingling sensation. It starts from behind, and sometimes it's just at the behind of my head, and sometimes it's right here on top of my head, on the right side of my brain. And yes, the other thing I've been having is this tingling sensation on my heart, and sometimes it feels very strong. Some people might think that I'm about to have a heart attack, which I don't believe that would be the case. Because there are other certain instances that would happen to you when you're having any pain that have to do with heart-related issues. I mean, you might have, some numbness on your hand and on your face and so on, There might be others as well, but this more felt like started with like a tingling sensation, kind of similar to the head on my right side, but it was more. It was also sometimes strong on my heart. Now, another reason, obviously, I say that it might not have to do with heart health issues, because, like I said, around the same time, or about the same time, or at the same time as well, I believe, I was sometimes having this tingling sensation where I was having this sensation in my heart as well. So maybe they're related, maybe not. I'm just putting out the facts of what actually happened to me. So sleepiness, tiredness, these tingling sensations. So another very interesting thing happened last night. I did kind of go to sleep earlier, maybe around 4:30. I was watching some videos. I was planning to watch some more videos. I didn't feel like just watching regular TV. I wanted to explore, videos that might be out there about having to do with Mandela effects, or anything having to do with, the awakening process. And after a while, I felt like I needed to stay awake to watch these videos, but I was feeling very tired as well at the same time, so I dozed off. I dozed off on my sofa, on my couch. My wife came by maybe around 5 o'clock, and she woke me up. She wanted me to get to the bed, and I felt really tired. I just couldn't feel like I was, strong enough to get up from the bed. From the couch or the sofa. And after she left, I just dozed off again on my bed. I went to sleep. Not necessarily doze off. I just went to sleep. I just didn't. Dozing off would be, not being quite aware of going to sleep, or when you're going to sleep. But I remember, I didn't feel strong enough to, or even willing enough to get up and go to bed. I just felt that tired, so I decided to just go to sleep on the sofa. And I'm gonna tell you the facts. Yes, my legs were slightly cramped. Maybe it have to do with that, but this was very weird, what I'm about to tell you guys. I wake up in the morning, and it's very weird, because I slept in the sofa before, and I haven't had this kind of incident before. And I've slept the same way, with my legs a little cramped. I felt like I just worked out doing sit-ups. Felt like I had just done sit-ups for quite some time, because I was having these cramps all over my belly. And it was very, very similar to having worked out. Sometimes when I'm cramped on the sofa, I have some pains here and there, but this one really felt like I just worked out. And this is very weird. I haven't been that much in shape for a long time. I haven't been able to exercise. I started exercising about a week or two ago, a little more frequently than before. Like I told some of you that I was in a couple car accidents a couple of years ago, so I eventually just got the will and not just the strength to start recovering more and start going to the gym and working out as well. I get up, and I already, I think, had something to eat in the morning. I go to the restroom to freshen up a little more, you know, wash my face and everything. I look at my stomach, on my belly, not necessarily that they're all tightened up, all the muscles are very tightened up, and I'm still feeling the cramps of having to have worked out. I still have those cramps even now, a little bit. But the, you know, the muscles in my belly, they're swollen. It feels like, you know, I'm starting to get abs. So I had abs before, but I haven't worked enough to get abs of some kind or some sort. But I mean, I wouldn't say I have abs from the morning, but I could see the linings where the muscles are swelling up slightly, and this was very weird for me. And like I said, I haven't ever experienced anything like this in my life. So I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure if, you know, like a lot of people say, sometimes you do astral projections, sometimes you go to places, whether you call it abductions or not, maybe so. But as I said, I'll be speaking of some of my experiences later on, about through astral projections and whatnot, and traveling into ships and seeing these beings and whatnot. But those didn't feel like abductions. It felt like more like, once I was there, at least in one of the incidents, it felt like they were trying to help me out, you know, as if I went through a very painful journey, for lack of better words. I'm not saying that it was painful, but it felt like I came through a very tireful journey, and they were trying to help me out. But I'll get to those stories in a later video. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what happened while I was sleeping. If I was somewhere else, or what exactly happened, or if I was even working out somewhere else. And like I said, I still have the cramps slightly, not as much as in the morning. But share your comments and let me know what all of you think about this experience, or these experiences that I just talked about. If any of you have had similar experiences recently, I did hear a lot of people talking about these tingling sensations on their head, and also in their chest in some cases. But I'm still waiting to hear about some of the other things, like, you know, the Mandela effect I spoke about. Wow. A verb. Trying to make a verb out of a verb. Interesting. I'm still waiting to hear from people if any of you or anyone else have experienced, you know, color changes in the television, like the one I experienced in the early 90s or the mid 90s. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to add, about the event, I'm not sure it's quite related or not. I'm gonna try to find articles where it has been mentioned. It has been mentioned in space.com and some other articles as websites as well. But recently, scientists and researchers have found out the 72 quote-unquote cosmic flashes. They're calling them unusual flashes. I'm not sure about the distance from the Earth. I'll share the article or articles where they have talked about this incident that just occurred a few days back, and no one still, at least as of then, I haven't seen any articles lately if they have found any exact reason behind it, but as of then, where the article was shared, no one seemed to have discovered what exactly caused these flashes. So I'm not saying they have anything to do with the event. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. They could be ships of some sort, or just plain old cosmic flashes, or they could have to do with the solar flashes as well. I mean, not necessarily from our sun, but maybe they still have something to do with the event. You never know. But that's something I wanted to share as well as part of this video. There's so many things happening. I've also, like many people, have seen interesting formation of clouds in the sky, which may or may not have to do with, you know, the event getting more prominent, so to speak. Like I said, I believe it's been going on for a long time, but you never know. With time, or even though I believe, you know, the past, present, future are all just descriptions dividing up what basically is happening simultaneously, to put it in short terms. But you never know. Maybe they do have to do something with the event that I believe has been happening for quite some time. It's just becoming more prominent and more exposed, so as to speak about it. But yeah, share your comments. Check out the article or articles, and let me know what you think about it. I can let the people pass. A couple of people just walked down the street. I have my lights on because it's already nighttime, but I forgot to add this part in the video that I did about the event earlier today, so I figured I might as well add this portion as well. So feel free to share your comments about these 72 flashes, any new Mandela effects that you might have, also about any experiences that you may have similar to what I have been having recently with, you know, the tingling sensations in the head and in your chest, or I had in my chest as well. The Mandela effect that I've mentioned about from the 90s, I'm not sure if any of you ever heard about it or have experienced. Feel free to share comments about that. You know, black and white color, TV all of a sudden showing color pictures and then going back again to black and white. The very interesting thing that happened to me last night, you know, where I've been having these cramps, and with my ab muscles are swollen enough to show lines of the ab muscles slightly. So I'm not sure what that was about. That was totally new for me as an experience. One thing I forgot to mention about that in regards to that, a few days ago I was having cramps on my left leg, and I thought maybe that have to do with me sleeping in some one way or another, but it was an isolated part in my leg. But this one is all over my belly, all over my abs, so I don't know what happened. It's interesting. I'm not saying that I'm scared about it. I'm just excited about these things that are not only happening to me, all these different types of aspects or incidents that are happening all across the world. Interestingly, I'm with just a few videos that I've posted, even though I am obviously, because the channel is new, I'm not getting that many views. But even with whatever views I've had, I've already had a few comments from different subscribers, and I really appreciate that you're sharing experiences. Feel free to spread the words about these videos, and or at least, you know, if you feel that being a little too much, just talk to people that you know who are also going through this awakening process and a process, uh, and see what they have to say about it, and then share comments about it with me and everyone else as well. Whatever we can do to assist each other is good enough, I believe, you know, even if it's to the minute possible amount, so to speak. I'm not sure if you can hear my the sounds from my belly. I guess it's time for dinner. So if you have experienced something similar to what I just experienced last night, feel free to let me know. I'm really anxious to know if any of you have experiences, or if you remember what was actually happening, whether it was last night, if you had some of the similar in the last few days or last few months, if you had any experiences, and if you remember anything, I'd be very interested to know. I didn't remember my email address last time. I do remember it now. It was actually the right one I mentioned, but I wasn't sure if it was. I put the link on my email address on my previous video. Probably gonna go back and add the email address on all my previous videos so far. But if you want to share something privately and feel like that's something you don't want me to share with others, feel free to just email it to me at goodnessforallbeings. Actually, no, it's goodnessforallbeings. Goodness, GOODNESS, for FORALL, for all beings, BEINGS, at gmail.com. But it's something you feel like you can share in the comments section. Feel free to do so. Feel free to let me know what you think, or if you had any similar experiences recently, please feel free to share. And I keep on saying this, and I still will. Don't take any of these as something scary or something negative. Keep on thinking positive. Take all of these as a wonderful experience. In fact, don't even think about negative or positive. Just think of everything in life as wonderful experiences, as they should be, and as they are, and as they have been, and as they will be for all time to come. So that's it for now. Until next time, this is MK, and we're all energies. Take care.